Hey attorney, so a client had a raid today in her neighborhood due to ICE. Everyone's pretty worried about that. Do you have any questions or anything for recommendations of what they should do if ICE knocks on their door?
Yeah, so I did have this, I still have this template. I'll probably type this out on an email again, send it out again. So if you'd like to get this just electronically, call us and email and you can get at least what's inside this electronically, right? So, but of course, on top of the tips that I stated here, I want to add something, all right? So this is the last thing I'm gonna state at the very end of this video again. But basically, on top of, in summary, on top of asking for a warrant, signing nothing, remaining silent, and calling an attorney, on top of all of those and keeping any important documents on you, on top of all of those tips, I would say that if ICE now, like let's say if a scenario plays out and now ICE does have a warrant, they say, yes, we have a warrant. Remember I told you in the last video that you should have them slide it under your door so you can read it. So let's say you read it and you see immigration officer and then a signature on underneath or on top of that. That means that's an ICE warrant. That's not a real warrant. That's not a warrant that's signed by a judge, right? And so that kind of warrant does not give ICE the authority to enter. The warrant for them to be able to enter has to have a signature from a judge. So if you look at it and it says Judge so-and-so signed it, or it just says Judge or blah and it has a signature, then they do have the right now to enter. Once they enter, now you can tell them, assert any applications that you have. Tell them, hey, I have a pending application. I'm not deportable. Secondly, make sure, and this is so important, make sure you assert that you've been here longer than 2 years. If you've been here less than 2 years, you'll be subjected to what's called expedited removal. In other words, they can remove you without a hearing, without due process. So you need to have something on you. That's why also the receipt notices and things like that would be nice to have a copy of someone to show that, hey, I've been here for 2 years. Y'all can't just deport me without a hearing, okay? So those are the things to do. Like if ICE actually enters and you see that they have a right to enter, you see the warrant, etc., assert now your right to be here, the fact that, hey, I've been here for 2 years and I can't just be deported without a hearing. So remember, of course, they can still eventually deport you, but it's going to be quite a process before they can deport you if you've been here longer than 2 years. And of course, also if you have a pending application. And then lastly, I want to bring out what I've always say is stay away from ICE. Not everybody's going to be subjected to a raid. In this next 4 years, some people will be subjected to deportation simply because you did something stupid. You had a DUI, or silly, should we say. Find yourself in a DUI, or someone called the cops on you for beating them up or something like that, or you had a domestic violence charge, you beat up somebody, or you got into a fight with an intimate partner. Stay away from any of these things that will cause ICE to have a reason to deport you. That will cause ICE to have a reason to detain you. Like just be on your P's and Q's. Be a good, responsible resident, of the United States. I'm using resident loosely, okay? Just be nice. All right, so on top of these 4 things that I have here on this list, which says number 1, ask for warrant, number 2, remain silent, answer no questions, number 3, sign nothing, and number 4, call an attorney. 5 and 6 will basically keep a copy of all your important records, receipt notices, approval notices, work permits, travel permits, social security cards. Keep a copy or something like that on you at all times. And then of course number 6 was give a trusted family member or friend one of those. So on top of these things that I discussed in the other video, I also said today, if you're now in a position now where you begin speaking with an ICE officer and they say, they want to detain you or something like that, now it's time for you to tell them, hey, I've been here up to 2 years. I have this pending application, and you show them your receipt notices, your approval notices, your work permit, travel permit. You show them something to show you have something pending. All right, that could either have them release you from being detained at that time, or now in the event that they actually still take you in and detain you, you can easily get out, right? And of course, if you can show that you've been here up to 2 years, again, that usually will aid you in getting proper due process. Meaning they cannot just deport just like. So there's a lot of information. I hope I talk clearly.
I think you gave some really good tips and tricks, attorney. And on top of that, it's really reassuring to know that pending cases,
right,
it's good to know that they're
right
in a good position.
All right, so this thing is in Spanish and English, but this is how it goes.
Alrighty, this is the pamphlet.
Well, I'm gonna make it. Thank you.
No problem, thank you.